Hotep, I am the Amen Osiris, God of Law. Thanks for tuning in. And in this small segment, we're going to be talking about child support hearing officers. Okay? Now, as usual, you know that I'm talking about the state of New Jersey. So, therefore, I'm going to be coming from the New Jersey Judicial Child Support Hearing Officer Program Operations Manual, to which all child support hearing officers are obligated to follow the rules and regulations of. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do, just going to give you a little information here, all right, because uh, it's things that you need to know. All right. Now, first and foremost, any of you who have been uh, victimized by the child support industry, 99% of the times, that victimization comes from the child support hearing officer. All right, or what they call a referee or judge surrogate. All right. Now, just to go back a minute, we're going to talk about the Child Support Hearing Officer Program's Operations Manual. All right, this is a very, very interesting book. All right, and incidentally, it outlines, it's the manual. All right, it's their manual how to enforce child support upon you. All right, it's their manual that states how to get you or sucker you into child support. And if you've ever read it, and trust me, it's my Bible. I mean, I know every page of it. All right, everything has to deal with consent. All right, but I'm going to give you um, a word here today. All right, and this is at the very beginning of the Child Support Hearing Officer Program's Operation Manual. It says, while the manual reflects court policies existing as the date of its preparation, in the event there is a conflict between the manual and any policy, that policy, rather than the manual, we will be controlling. Now, let me explain to you what a policy is, according to Black's Laws Dictionary, page 1317. The policy, the general principle by which government is guided in management of public affairs directed towards the welfare or prosperity of the state. All right, are you following that? So basically, a policy is dealing with the prosperity of the state. All right, and the Child Support Hearing Officer Manual of New Jersey and all state manuals. All right, we cover New Jersey all the way to California. It doesn't matter; they're all the same. Okay, all right, but these are policies, and these policies are for the prosperity of the state. And as you know, child support is federal law that's reimbursed to the states. All right, so therefore, that's the prosperity of the state. Okay, now uh, the bottom portion of it, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, is that, like I said, this manual is binding on all court staff. Now, here's the funny part. All right, that means court staff. That means the judge, his little assistant, the bailiffs that work in the court. Because remember, child support hearing officers are not part of court staff. All right. So again, they really trick you on how they word this. But what you need to start doing is looking up the words that are being used in these laws, and you'll find out exactly what they were. All right. So I want you to write down that word policy. I mean, don't write it down, but you know, bear in mind. All right, child support under New Jersey law and any other state. All right, corporate state, not the landmass, but the corporation is policy, which is dealing with the welfare and prosperity of the state. Bottom line. All right, now um, oh, also it says this manual is written primarily as the guide for the child support hearing officer. It is not intended to include all policy and procedure for child support. All right, it's a suggestion for them. The child support hearing officer program in New Jersey runs off of this manual exclusively, and I'm going to let you know it is simply just an offer. All right. Now, let's talk about these pissant suck egg hearing officers, which are basically the court's main bitch. All right. What their job is to do is to elicit you by fraudulent inducement. All right, into contracts. Fraudulent inducement means they gave you a contract to sign, which you really legally, or actually not legally, constitutionally had no moral duty to sign. All right, signing a contract is merely an offer. All right, and for all of you who are in the child support system, nobody stood behind you with a gun in your to your head, making you sign those papers, did they? No. Again, governments are instituted among men and derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Consent means forfeiting, your will to the proposition of another. All right, that's it. So, Let's talk about hearing officers. In accordance with New Jersey Child Support Hearing Officer Program's operations manual, all right, and what I've done is I've just taken excerpts. All right, we don't need all the bullshit. Let's take the real dope and get high off of that. All right, the position could be filled by either an attorney or non-attorney as long as they were properly trained in the legal principles and support cases. All right, 99% of you 99% of the child support hearing officers are not attorneys. Not that it matters, because attorneys are licensed by the bar, which is the British Accreditation Registry. All right, the bar is not a government agency. All right, it is not under the executive, legislative, administrative, or judicial branch of any government. It is a private corporation. All right. So when you hear them saying, "Well, you can't come in here without a lawyer," that's letting you know that if they're requiring you or giving you the option to have a lawyer, and they tell you that you can't have a non-attorney represent you, which is a lie, all right, you know that it's part of a corporate scheme, because lawyers aren't licensed by the government; they're licensed by the bar association. Okay. And don't forget, license is a permission or a certificate that grants permission. All right. Now, let's see. Where are we at here? Data suggests that trained personnel were able to perform functions regardless of whether they were attorneys or not. All right, so it doesn't matter if they're an attorney. What they have to know is what's written in the pages in these books and how to apply it. All right, now, unbeknownst to them, well, they know it now. All right, the Amen Osiris, the God of Law, is fluent in their book. All right, and that's why I'm able to help you. That's why I'm able to take their law and the same law that they use against you, and we can use it against them, and we can free you. All right, it works. All right, so the cost effectiveness of hearing support cases is $38.36 for a judge. All right, hearing officers, it's only $4.16. That's why they developed the hearing officer program, because it was a third, actually three-quarters cheaper than using the judges, which is actually illegal because he has a financial interest in the case. All right. Now, the main goal, like I said, is for them to elicit you or bring forth information. In other words, their job is to get you to self-incriminate. They want you to turn yourself in. All right. Now, 99, most of you, all of you, some of you, it doesn't matter. If you fail to realize that you have a right to not give any information that would incriminate yourself, that is a guaranteed God-given right, and it's upheld in the Constitution. All right, you don't have to tell anyone anything about yourself. All right, when you're getting subpoenaed, or not subpoenaed, what do they call that? When they direct you to come to the court. Actually, it's a subpoena, whatever they call it. Summons. All right, they summons you to go to court. All right. Had you known that under Article 3, when you get these documents, is that you are hereby summoned to appear in front of a child support hearing officer. All right. Had you known under Article 3 of the New Jersey State Constitution, no person shall be deprived of the inestimable privilege of worshiping Almighty God in a manner agreeable to the dictates of his own conscience, nor under any pretense whatever be compelled to attend any place of worship, contrary to his faith and his judgment. All right. Again, what we have here is a constitutional guarantee, number one, that says you don't have to go to an administrative hearing ran by a child support hearing officer. All right, and that's guaranteed. It's upheld in the Constitution. All right, that's number one. Number two, all right, this is a good one, and this is the part that I like. And for those of you, and I've been telling you this for a long time, okay? Uh, Let me just get to it so you can hear it for yourself. All right, because what we need to do is expose you. All right, basically, under the same information, child support hearing officers are at-will employees of the state. All right, they're employees of the administrative office of the court, and they are paid by the state. They are state employees. That is what a child hearing officer is. All right, he's no different from the man or woman down there at the motor vehicle agency or any other government agency. They have no authority. Their only job is they take testimony, they gather information from you by consent. They dupe you into giving them all this information. Then they in turn, all right, the law requires that even though they're judge surrogates, all right, they don't have final decisions. Anything that they do, they can only make recommendations to a judge, which we know that there are no judges in New Jersey. All right, because a judge is bound to the Constitution. All right, he's not bound to the administrative agency that's found under the executive branch of government called the Division of the Department of Health and Human Services. He's bound only to the Constitution. All right, and like I told you, judges are forbidden from sitting in a child support case. Child support cases must be presided by individuals who are not a judge of the court. I don't give a fuck if they got a black robe on, they got a gavel in their hand. You know what I mean? They're not judges. Okay. And not to mention, Article 3 says you don't have to go to their hearing anyway. But instead of you being a man and standing on your rights, you act like a little bitch and you go. And then the funny part is when you get there, all right, they're handing you all these papers, all right, and you are, you know, you're signing them, all right, you're reading them, you're giving them all the information they need. Now, under the was it protocol was it 1208, in order to recommend that enforcement include coercive incarceration, the child support hearing officer must make findings as to the obligor's, hear that word again, non-compliance and ability to pay. The child support hearing officer will also make findings with respect to the obligor's indigency, ensuring that all the information required to complete the probation child support enforcement obligor questionnaire sheet has been elicited from the obligor. Elicit means to bring forth. All right. So you go there, number one, when you don't have to under Article 3. All right. And you go there and you volunteer information, which you don't have to under Article 1. All right. Self-incrimination. You can't, you're telling on yourself. Without the information that you give them, they can't proceed to the case. And then anything that they do give you, you can slide it right back. Oh, no, thank you. All right. These are at-will state employees. They don't have the authority to make you sign any documents. You're the dumbass sucker who signs them because you feel intimidated. Why? Because you're ignorant of the law, you're ignorant of your rights, you're ignorant of your status, and you're ignorant of the government limitations. Don't feel bad, fellas. I've been there. I know how it is. And don't forget, I'm a former victim of New Jersey child support. That's why I'm fucking them in their ass right now. Okay? I'm here to help you. I know exactly what they're doing. All right? How do I know exactly what they're doing? I have their manuals. All right? And all you got to do is read it. But more importantly than reading it, you need to learn how to interpret. And that's what this is for. Okay? It's the most powerful, one of the most powerful weapons in my arsenal. All right, it's more powerful than the Desert Eagle 50 cal. It's more powerful than the automatic shotgun, sweet. It's powerful. This will penetrate the engine block of any court. All right, and it will stop any judge impersonator in the tracks. So you need to stop submitting and consenting to these state employees called child support hearing officers. All right, they're no different. You ever see the guy cleaning up the shit in the park who works for the state? That's a child support hearing officer. That's it. Now they have different levels, hearing officer 1, this and this and that, and they're very good at what they do. Okay, me personally, I love the child support hearing officers. I always rip them a new asshole. All right, they can't get past 1 or 2 questions. All right, and that's the beauty about what we do here. We take their law, we shove it so far up in their ass, they're picking it out of their teeth for a month. If they tell you that their law is well, sir, that doesn't apply here. Well, neither does what you're saying, because it comes out of the very same book, the very same law dictionary, the very same case laws. All right, the very same steps that they use to sucker you into child support. All right, we legally use to either keep you from going in or remove you from it. It's a very simple process. There's nothing for you to be scared of. Because if I, as a man on the street, walked up to you and told you you're going to give me all your personal information, or else there's going to be a fight that's going to break out. You're not going to allow me to come up on you and demand that. But yet you allow these state workers to do it. And if all men are equal and free, then that means these state workers have no more rights on this planet than you. But again, here we go with that little bitch shit again. Just say no. Child support is merely an offer. It's an offer for you to receive a service. That's it. All right. A service is offered by corporations. The state of New Jersey is a corporation, a municipal corporation. I am the Amen Osiris. I hope this information helps you. Give me a call or check us out on the web, and we will get you free. We will keep you free. and that's guaranteed. Peace.